Child yourself, did you ever harbour thoughts of becoming an actor?
When I was a kid, well, I think all little kids are actors. They play games and pretend to be someone else. And, you know, this time I'm, you know, John Wayne, and this time you're Sitting Bull. Whatever the fantasy is, it's much easier as a child to find that believability aspect.
And it's that believability factor that today makes Mel Gibson one of the film world's most credible actors.
That they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
Before becoming a professional actor, young Mel had been performing for years. Working a large audience as a child was a piece of cake. There were 11 kids in the family, but I'm told that you were the clown.
Well, I guess I used to deliberately try and make people laugh. Sometimes it was successful, sometimes I used to get a backhander, but when you push the envelope, you know, that happened a few times. And looking at my own kids, I think there's something true about that. You know, you can see who they're going to be.
And what sort of direction they might take.
Yeah. Which is, so far, it's all good news, you know.
Good.
And they haven't lit the house on fire or hung the dog or anything. So.
or at least successfully.
Not successfully, yeah.
Listen, but...
Like most teenagers, Gibson wasn't sure what he'd do for a living. Surfing along Sydney's northern beaches seemed just fine at the time.
You know, quite seriously, I didn't know what else to do. And I was in you know, that place in your life when they say you know, choose a career, choose a vocation, or society says that. Nobody actually said that to me, but...
And you were actually thinking of being a journalist at one stage, weren't you?
Oh, yeah.
God forbid.
Boy,
weren't you lucky?
Yeah. I could be in that chair. Yeah, let's swap seats for a second.
Probably the turning point in Mel Gibson's career came when one of his older sisters saw an ad in the newspaper. She sent in an application form for him to become a student here at the National Institute of Dramatic Art, where they teach you how to act. Well, Mel Gibson was accepted.
Yeah, she kind of like forced the issue, you know, paid the $5 and all that stuff, you know. So it was very nice that one of your, you know, siblings took an interest in your well-being and welfare, you know. Yeah. It was good. I felt that I should go out there and try something, and just that opportunity presented itself to me, and it was one of a few choices that I had, and it seemed to be the most palatable.
After 3 days, I feel so good.
The whole world knows now just how palatable that decision was. From Mad Max to Lethal Weapon to starring and directing in Braveheart.
Okay, good. Across out again and come back.
That decision by his sister turned Gibson into a true superstar.
I think your position exists to provide those people with freedom.
Do you believe in fate and luck much?
There's a kind of a plan. There's another intelligence that looks after you, a higher power, a god. And a lot of it's preordained. A lot of it you bring yourself, you know. It's a mystery to me. I don't understand it. I don't pretend to. But, you know, there's something out there.
I mean, in a few short years, you became a worldwide celebrity. Was that hard to handle, all that attention at first?
It's kind of overwhelming. And if you're not mature enough to for that onslaught, well, then it's gonna affect you in funny ways, and that certainly happened to a degree. And it takes you a little while to find your sea legs there because you're at sea. That's no two ways about it.
I can't get through.
Keep trying.
This is Flight Lieutenant Lara Bell aboard Sky Rover 7.
How far are we from Galactic Base?
Well, only 15,000 kilometers.
If someone's there, they must hear us.
And Mel Gibson's not one to forget the early days either.
Something's coming through on the radio comm.
It's nothing for him to revisit NIDA and remind those young hopefuls that no matter how big you become, never take yourself too seriously.
I certainly don't. I'm rich. No, I take what I do seriously, of course. You have to, you must, if it's going to work, but it can't get too important, or I think it, you know, becomes self-indulgent.
Have you forgot me?
No, Brother Rude, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay, then, I'll set those to you that can.
What advice would you give to young actors starting out today?
Just try and be good at what you do. That's as much as you can do.
Come and sit.
It's a question of keeping those childlike qualities, those channels open in your adult life to do the job later on, because it's not really a profession for a grown man.
No, and you don't want to grow up.
No, who does?
Sure.
Yeah, like Peter Pan.